This comic is a foreign-born Canadian citizen of indeterminate ethnicity. In other words, he's the kind of Canadian the Conservative Party hates. Unless he's front and center in a Conservative Party ad. Then they love him. So please welcome Danish Anwar!
Thanks, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Danish Anwar, part-time comic, full-time terror suspect. I actually live in Toronto, a very diverse city, and everybody's from all over the world. It's very common to ask each other, where you're really from, what your background is. Threw me off a little bit because it's considered racist everywhere else, right? But it's very common in the city. And everybody assumes that I'm originally from a broke, homophobic, illiterate, religiously oppressive country. And I'm always like, guys, I'm not American. Fun fact about me, actually, I am foreign-born, like they said. I was actually born and raised in Russia, so take a second to digest that. 100% true. People don't believe me because, they're skeptical, understandably. They're like, that doesn't make sense. That makes you a brown Russian, okay? That's not a person, that's a drink. It's vodka and hot chocolate. That's what that is. But it's true. See, what happened is back in the day, the Soviet Union was known for having excellent universities. And my parents went there to study. In fact, they're geniuses because they went to study business and political science in communist Russia. Okay? It's like going to fashion school in North Korea. Taking business ethics in Quebec. All right. So yeah, obviously as a result, my life is a little complicated, especially when I travel as a brown Russian, because not only am I young, male, have brown skin, a beard, and a Muslim name, I'm possibly an ex-communist spy or Vladimir Putin's sleeper agent in Canada. If my life was a movie, it'd be called 10 Things America Hates About You. Okay? So yeah, I came here 10 years ago. I came to Canada 10 years ago. I'd never been in North America prior to this, right? So I'd lived, in Eastern Europe, Southeast Asia, the kind of places where you don't hear words like comedy festival. But you often hear words like death toll, unless headline reads, death toll rising at Delhi Comedy Festival. But I came here 10 years ago. I'd never been in North America. In fact, all I knew for context was what I'd learned from watching a lot of porn, basically. All I knew about life in North America. In fact, I'm convinced that all brown immigrants learn about life here through pornography. That's why when we get here, we immediately get to work as pizza delivery guys. I have a little dog. You guys dog people at all? Yeah? All right, sweet, sweet. So I have a little dog. I have a little tiny, 10-pound poodle. I got him from the Toronto City shelter. If you've never been in a shelter, very depressing place, giant cages everywhere. And when I was walking past this one cage, this little guy kind of climbed up the side of the cage. He looked like a spider. He wanted to be noticed, right? So I named him Spidey because I'm creative like that. So I have this little dog, and while I was waiting to do the paperwork for Spidey, I was talking to this guy who worked at that shelter. And he was telling me what he did. His job was to euthanize mentally ill cats all day. Poor guy. Don't laugh, you psychos. I'm with you, though. Because, he's telling me this heartbreaking story about how he has to euthanize mentally ill cats all day. And I'm a comedian. I can't handle emotion. Right? So while he's telling me this story, I'm like, so you're saying you get paid to slay mad pussy all day? They almost didn't let me have the dog. So now I have this little dog. I live just north of the gay village of Toronto, just north of the neighborhood, right at the tip of the gay village of Toronto. And, lots of offices in the area as well. So they're like, hey, cute little dog. I get comments on that all the time. One night I was walking my dog and this very professionally dressed lady was walking by, very expensive clothes, walking to a very expensive car, obviously somebody very, very successful. She's like, hey, you have a cute dog. Let me ask you something. Are you gay or straight? I'm like, hey, I'm straight. Why do you ask? So she looks me right in the eyes and says, call me old-fashioned, but a man must have a big dog. I'm like, hey, if you're so old-fashioned, why did you leave the kitchen? Thanks for listening, everybody. My name's Danish Anwar.
After the break, life's too short.